Hi, in this video we are going to explore the basic parts of the nervous system. Okay, so to do this we use this 3D anatomical software, 3D modeling anatomical software. What I like about this is we can look at the different systems of the body. So for example, we can peel off the skin and we can see the muscular system underneath it, and then we can also remove the muscular system. We see the skeletal system and so on. So basically uh, we have free reign over what we want to see inter in the internal of the body, in the internal structure of the body. Okay, so because we want to be exploring the nervous system, let us remove all the other systems, just to avoid confusion, so that we can only look at the parts of the nervous system. Okay, so this is the model, and then if we remove the skin, this is now how your nervous system looks like. Okay, so what are the parts of the nervous system? Well, the parts, basically there are three main parts that we can see here physically. So first is this one. So this is the brain. Okay, so this part here, this whole thing up top, is called the brain. Okay, and then if we zoom out a little bit, this long structure kind of at the back, that is kind of at the back, is what we call the spinal cord, right? And then all of these yellow stuff here are called nerves, right? So there are numerous of them running all throughout the body. So these are nerves. So there you have it, the three main physical parts that you can see from this model. So you have the brain, you have the brain here, you have the spinal cord, and you have all these nerves. Okay? So now that we are done with that, we can look at the specific parts of the specific organs. So for example, we can look at the brain here. We can hide half of it so that we can see the internal structure. And looking at this, we can actually identify three main subdivisions of the brain. So this here is called the cerebellum. So I'm gonna mark it letter A. And then this part here is the cerebrum. So I'll write it as letter B. And then this part here, kind of at the center, is called the brain stem. Okay, so this is the cerebellum, this is the cerebrum part, and this is the brain stem. So again, there are three parts of the brain, or subdivisions: cerebellum, cerebrum, and then the brain stem. Okay, and then lastly, we can also identify two types of nerves, right? So for example, zoom in to one of these nerves, this one. If you read the label here, it says TO3 spinal nerve in the left side. So this nerve is called a spinal nerve because it hooks up directly to the spinal cord. So meaning all of these nerves here that you can see that connect to the spinal nerves, which are basically all the nerves that are from the neck down, they are called spinal nerves. Okay? If we focus our attention to the head area, you also have nerves. So for example, uh, this nerve here that pops out from the eyeball. Obviously, this brings visual input. So something that we have discussed when we were in the topic of optics. So signals from the eyes get sent to the brain via this nerve. This is called the optic nerve. And notice the label here says CN02, optic nerve, to the left. So this CN here is actually saying cranial nerve. So all of these nerves, therefore, that hook up directly to the brain or the cranium area, so which is basically everything that is above the neck, that those are called the cranial nerves. And the nerves that connect to the spinal cord, everything from the neck down, are called the spinal nerves. Okay, so just to recap, you have three main parts, the three physical main parts. You have the brain, the spinal cord, and all these nerves. And then the brain, you can look at three subdivisions of the brain. You have the cerebellum here, you have the cerebrum, and then the brainstem at the center. And then for the nerves, you can identify two types of nerves: the spinal nerves that hook directly to the spinal cord, and all of these nerves near the head that hook directly to the cranium area. So these are called the cranial nerves. Okay? So I think that is it for at least the basic parts of the nervous system. Of course, there are still subparts of the nervous system that we will discuss in the later topics.